Your performance task number 5 is on kite designing. Remember that in our meeting last time, we have talked that a kite is a quadrilateral with two consecutive sides that are congruent. Now, here's your performance task. You will join in a citywide kite festival. Make a design of your kite. So let me underline what the important things that I'll check in your kite. The first is the design of your kite. Share the rationale. It means what's the reason for your design. Also, you need to specify how long the length of each side and how long is each diagonal. Make sure that the measurements are mathematically related and accurate, and the design is creative. So 4 things that I'm going to check in your kite. Number 1, the design of your kite. Number 2, the rationale for your design. Number 3, the length of each side. It must be a kite. And number 4, the length of each diagonal. It must be feasible. You know what? You could not just simply assign any number to the diagonal. While you can assign any number to your side, but you could not assign any number to your diagonal. So let us now start with our kite designing. So remember the first thing to do. It's up to you. I'm not so good in designing. I told you what again and again. But if I'm going to make a kite, I'll start first with the design. Okay. So with this one, it's up to you how to make your creative design. These are not just circles, but I don't know how to make the rounds for the coronavirus spikes. Okay. Maybe that will work for now. Okay, that's my design. Now, I will call this one the COVID kite. You could name your kite and you share to us. What's the reason? What's the reason for my design? I'd say that in this pandemic, everyone might have feared about COVID-19. But this kite will remind us that despite the pandemic, we still need to rise up higher, fly freely like the kite, and never lose hope. Okay, so it's a COVID awareness kite and a fight against COVID kite. So how about you? How do you design your kite? And again, tell us the reason for your design. Now we're done with the design. Let's go to the measures of each side. There are 2 ways for you to do it. The first is you can assign here. Remember that in a kite, 2 consecutive sides are congruent. So for example, I'll assign 13 and 13. And the other 2, you also need to assign. Example, in my case, I'll assign 37 and 37. But here's the big challenge. You need to find for the measure how long is this diagonal and how long is the other diagonal. Here's a hint. Number 1 is you can scale it with a ruler. Like you really draw a kite, measure it with a ruler, and you can have the measures of each and have the exact measure of each diagonal. But here's also another way how to mathematically do it. Let me draw first, my kite. If I'm going to make it, I will start with the diagonals. Sorry for that. Now, let me start with the diagonals. Remember that in a kite, the diagonals bisect each other and they are perpendicular. So we go to the next one. Let me redraw my kite. Oh, wait. There's no drawing for a kite. Not a kite. So I need to draw it by myself. So example. Okay. Here. Remember that in a kite, the diagonals are perpendicular to each other. Therefore, each one of this is a right angle. And each triangle that you will see is a right triangle, like this one. So with that one, we can use the formula for the Pythagorean theorem. That is c squared equals a squared plus b squared. Example, if this one is 5 and this one is 12, just this one, okay? I need to find the measure of this one, the c, 5 and 12. So let me solve it. C squared equals 5 squared plus 12 squared. That's 25 plus 144. The answer is 169. C squared. Square root of both sides, c equals 13. So this one is 13. Since the other one is also congruent, it also measures 13. So you see, I started assigning in these ones before I'll go to the other one. Now the next, if this is 12, let me have another number. My next number is 35. Actually, you can assign any other numbers to this one, as long as you will get the length of your side. Ma'am, is it possible that the length is a radical? Yes, no problem with radical lengths. So let's find for the measure again of the next side. So we have c squared equals 12 squared plus 35 squared. That's going to be 144. 35 squared is 3 times 25 is the last. 3 times 4, 12. 1, 2, 2, 5. So we have 1, 3 plus 4, 6 plus 4, 9. Square root. C squared, square root. The answer is 37. So this one measures 37. And the other also measures 37. You need to show your procedure if you're using this method. So how long is each diagonal? For the first one, diagonal 1 measures 24, while diagonal 2 measures 40. Again, what do I check? First, the design of your kite. Next, the rationale for the design of the kite. The next one, the measure for each sides. And the last, the measure of each diagonal. Do we have questions?